What the fuck? Boom. 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 Yo.
Hey, they're going to get a load of us, man.
Yes,
I don't know if they
sir.
know. I don't know if they know.
All right, all right, all right. Now, oh fuck. Artillery, you in here? Oh no.
Yeah, what's up? What up?
What's the word, brother?
I
All right,
ain't
hold on.
doing much, man. I don't know where the camera is.
Dun, 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 dun. The good guys.
The good ones, the angels.
What's
Right.
good? Peace and blessings, though.
Dog.
I don't know where my
Roller
camera is.
coaster, bro. Roller coaster, bro.
I'm getting all my shit together.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy, I was just on.
Dun, dun, dun. What you looking for? My guys, my guys.
What up?
Shade gang. I gotta get my shit together, man. All right. Let's go make sure this shit looking right on the tube. Artillery, how you feeling, brother? I ain't seen you in a minute, man.
Nah, I'm blessed, man. You know, just going with the flow, you know, usual stuff, nothing special, nothing too special, man. Just, well, everything's special, but, you know, normal shit, the usual, that's all.
God, just God activity, man. Peace to you and all
Yeah,
that, brother.
man, yeah, you know, just creating stuff, you
Yes.
know, music, vids, getting the shea butter together, you know, whipping up the, you know, the skin and body line, so.
You know everything got to be aligned. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah,
Why?
big fact. So
Why do it only get cut on the screen?
I
I'm working
don't
on this
know.
shit.
And then my camera, I don't know, my camera was showing, but now for some
Alright.
reason it's not. So I don't know what's up
They're
with
going to
it.
watch me eat.
Skin and body lines. So.
Hold on. You know everything got to be aligned.
Oh, all right. So my camera is working now. All
So,
right.
got artillery on here.
Let me throw a cloth on
Yeah.
it. I ain't realized how dusty that jank was till just now. Yeah, I figured multiple people could be there at a time. But
Pause. That's crazy.
that was diabolical, actually. There we go. There we go. Had to put that motherfucking goddamn camera cloth on it.
On
Pause.
this big screen.
And go. Shit was crazy. There we go.
Now shit right, bro.
Yeah, I had to clean the camera and shit.
No, where?
How everything going there
This
and all
bullshit.
the circles though.
You know, we making it happen, bro. We ain't finna stop.
Man.
Yeah.
They can't
Oh,
stop nothing,
man.
bro. They can't stop shit.
Oh, you know I know, bro. You know I know, bro. Oh, shit.
What is this? Boom. Hold up. Wait a minute. Technology. Motherfuckers.
But I mean, so
We live on YouTube right now. You can go live on YouTube with your, I mean, go on your phone.
Oh, we about to go from here to the tube. Pause. We
We
about
on
to go
tube.
from here to
We
YouTube.
on the tube right now. I'm watching this live.
Oh yeah.
I'm watching this live on the PlayStation. I'm finna like
Shit.
it. I'm finna like the channel and everything. Shout out to everybody that just joined the live. Shout out to Big Homie CC. One thing I can say about that brother, that's a real brother. So anybody that tuned in and followed him and subscribed to him, y'all did not fail.
Wild work, bro.
I will tell
Facts.
that.
Okay, there you go.
We talk about it.
Alright.
We talk about a gentleman that could pull up on any of y'all at any given moment.
Respectfully.
Y'all might be able to see him one day. Just know that when y'all see him, y'all run into a great guy. Y'all run into somebody y'all can respect, but most importantly, y'all can call a brother. So don't be hesitate. Don't hesitate, and don't be standoffish when you see him. He's really a good guy. At the same time, respect everything around you. Simple.
Facts. Big facts.
You try to log in on my shit. I'm just trying to go. Yeah. Here. Shout out to everybody.
All right, we got two on here.
Oh,
Three on here.
I forgot hot like that.
Three on here.
My dog,
Let's
Big Homie, man.
go. All right. Now
Big
Okay,
Homie,
okay. Alright, there you go.
we cooking. All right, now, boom. Let's go to me. On. Four now. Four now.
Rise on Canal Street, Griffin sighting in Brazil. Hey, that was crazy. That Griffin though.
Pause.
Big pause. You gonna pause me on Griffin?
Oh, I thought you said with the P's. I thought you said grip in. I'm about to say, whoa.
Nah. The Griffin, the fucking bird. They got the lion feet and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw one in Brazil and
That
they
was-
captured it on picture. They got it on camera.
Damn.
Now
But that pause
I've
was
been waiting to
diabolical.
speak on that. I've been waiting to speak on that until I can verify the validity of it. But man, that's looking like it's the real thing.
Well, this the thing. I didn't heard about this Griffin. I heard that shit 3-4 times already.
Now, what was the first place you heard of that?
It wasn't a place. I didn't hear it in the place. I just saw 2 pictures. This was the first time I actually heard a place though, like you saying. Because I'm sure you saw the same pictures. It's all on YouTube. They'll show some pictures where they'll show
Yeah,
mermaids
it's
and
a
they'll show fairies and shit like that.
video with it. Pretty.
There you go. You back, brother. We hear you.
Now
Yeah.
it's a vid. Yeah, I saw a video that was associated with it too, which I thought was pretty compelling as well. So am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
back, brother.
All
We
right.
listening to you.
Hold on. Should I get back on? Everybody, just bear with me right now. You feel me? Yeah, I saw a video that was associated with it too, which I thought was pretty compelling as well. So am I back? Am I back? Yeah, you back, bro. I ain't listening to
Yeah, that fan ain't it. It's all good. That fan ain't it though. Yeah.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We can hear you, brother.
What the fuck, bro?
Shit, we gonna get it together.
The
Yo, y'all can hear me?
For sure.
Yeah.
Nigga say free loose cannon. I miss his bitch ass on folks' grave. Yo, y'all can hear me? For sure. Oh, no.
Ooh, my baby.
I think I'm back. I think I'm good now.
Yeah, we can hear you fine though on our end.
Shit is ridiculous, man. This shit is ridiculous. Shout out Australia. Hello, Queen. How are you?
Fantastic.
I think I'm back. I think I'm good. I think I'm back. I think I'm good now. The delay is crazy work on insane. So can y'all hear me at all?
Yeah, the entire time.
I hear you perfectly,
Oh
you know what I
man.
mean? And then I got it
This
on the
bullshit.
I got it on the computer too, so
I hate the fucking internet. Y'all can record NLE Chopper being a faggot. Oh, I'm tripping. Hold
Ha!
on.
That boy thought he was on the block. He forgot he thought he was on the block. My
Shit
dog thought he
ridiculous,
was on the
folks.
block.
Gee, I don't know. Why would this shit be? Okay.
yeah, is my mic back?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro. For to figure it out, we're gonna talk about the Griffins. We're gonna talk about the beatings, the mass riding, everything, Africa, everything. Shout out to the guys, man. We're gonna keep this thing going. Everybody that's on YouTube right now, thank y'all for following. Thank y'all for tuning in. We was on TikTok earlier streaming, so follow us there. BigHomieCC on TikTok. Revenue King Tut, Hennessy J Tran on TikTok. Y'all see my woman Queen. I got her next to me. It's one of my halves, man. You know, I gotta keep it wholesome. You know, it takes a village, and I'm a living witness. But other than that, shout out to everybody out there with children. Shout out to everybody in healthy relationships. Shout out to everybody out there that's actually doing the right thing and vibing the right way. Y'all gonna get to know us real soon, man. We're gonna put out little bits of content here and there. You know, y'all may get an idea of us. However, like y'all already see who BH is. So it's pretty safe to say that, you know, he keeps a serious circle around him. I too also keep a serious circle around me as well. I got some great brothers, great unit, great team around me. A little bit about myself. I know a whole lot about a little bit. That makes sense to y'all. One of my favorite places in the world. I finally got to visit it and see it, you know, from an aspect of wanting to stay there and be there and actually seeing a vision of my life actually taking place there. That place is Africa, and I would say that to anybody. if you feel like you want to go a place and just uproot and see what you can figure out, I would say do that. I would say relocate. I would say make Africa a spot, make Cambodia a spot, make Thailand a spot. Places of that where your dollar matter. Because everybody knows the economy is getting horrible. You see the president is about to throw out another stimulus. A lot of people are happy for that. A lot of people also see the smoke and mirrors behind that. Uh, my advice is, man, take that money and put it in stocks. Don't go smoke that money. Don't go drink that money. Don't even fix no cars. That money that this man give you, whether it's 1,200 to 2 stacks, take that money and throw it in an investment, man. Because y'all eating the food, y'all eating the money. Y'all going bob these number ones, these 4 for 4s, y'all buying the spicy chicken. Y'all lit, man. Like just take that money and invest. That's my advice to y'all. BH, we good? You got everything working, brother?
Yes, sir, man. We back in action. We back in action. So a lot of people been asking me who you are, who Queen is, what's been going on after they seen us together in Africa. I want to, let people know that I'm gonna be introducing new people, new personalities, new talent to Off the Grid Network. I want y'all to welcome everybody with open arms, saying when y'all did me. You feel me? This my boy Tut. This my brother. You feel me? And I want to continue to raise the level of conversation in our community. I want to continue to us to push the envelope about seeking knowledge. And the only way to do this is to continue to use this page as a think tank to where people are able to speak their thoughts freely, judgment free. Like they always told us in school, no question is a stupid question, But there is a such thing as being a stupid man with a stupid plan. You feel me? So there's a major difference in that paradox. And somebody said to me, like, bro, give us some new information. And you've been telling us the same stuff. What you got to understand is when people book me for an interview, I have to answer the questions that they me. And that's why I listen to everybody when they request for me to go live. And I understand that, but I want people to know that we all we have in this vast world that we live in, and due to the internet and technology, we're able to all connect fast. And I appreciate everybody who constantly reaches out, sends messages and emails. I do my best to respond to all messages. And the way y'all ride for me in the comments, you feel me? People seeing how Tut was standing on business with 607. And I got asked a lot of questions. So, this is my boy Tut. This is my brother. You feel me? And we gonna demonstrate today. We gonna take questions. Hello, that was that Cosmic Blue. Hello, Queen. How are you? Hello, everybody. And I'm glad I got Tut here right now because I don't call many people my brother, let alone big bro. You feel me? And who are we if we don't recognize who our family is? And I always tell people I got my 10,000 hours in. We got Artillery DaGod back in here. Peace to the
Shout out to my
God.
brother.
So when y'all seen me in Germany after I left London, these the guys who picked me up at the airport, including Queen back there. You feel me? This the
Straight
people who
up,
was there.
man. Straight up.
You feel me? That's the wheel man back there. You feel me? So I'm
Peace,
just
peace,
gonna get.
peace. I'm back. Had connection issues for a second. Had to jump back in, but I'm back.
I want to introduce y'all to Artillery DaGod. You feel me?
Peace, peace,
And
peace.
very talented brother. You feel me? King pen of the ink pen. You feel me? So, you know, I'm just gonna kick it off with this. I have read the Quran. I've read the Torah, the Talmud. I've read several hadiths. I've read 7 different versions of the Bible. And I'm gonna take time to, explain my opinions. Iron sharpens iron. I want to see what what my peers, what my equals think about some of these topics, because one of the main reasons I was compelled to travel to the continent of Africa outside of my family ties was to escape the matrix and to be able to have a more spiritual connection to the earth, and to find out on other lands what information they're teaching people in schools, and to find out about several beings that I continue to hear about constantly. Come on, bro. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, it glitched out, but you back. Ah. Well, how was the day, King?
You know, man. Just keeping it steady for real, man. Trying to keep my head above the water, but most importantly, you gotta be careful above the water nowadays, man. They everywhere, man.
Yeah.
They everywhere
Duality to
now.
everything, you know.
Like, man, when the birds start eating more meat than the shit on the ground, it's a scary day in the air.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I seen a
We
bird.
back.
I
Y'all
seen
see
a
me?
Oh,
bro,
damn.
bro. I seen a bird swallow a baby deer, bro.
Damn.
Like flew right down, picked it in the head, it passed out, swallowed it, whole bird. I'm
Oh.
like, big pause.
Oh,
But yeah, man, straight up, like I'm like, yeah, when birds fly down to grab a deer, watch your kids.
Yeah, but I've seen videos where I've seen like eagles come down and pick up toddlers and fly off with them and stuff.
That's why when he mentioned that,
Mhm.
that's why when he mentioned that griffin, I'm like, yo, man, they always show a bird picking up kids or trying to pick up kids. You have no idea there could be a baby griffin or whatever.
Nah, nah. I've been peeping a lot of little stuff they've been dropping. I seen you seen the white links.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
white links.
That was a
Yeah,
beautiful. It was a beautiful cat. Pause. That's
yeah.
that feline,
all right.
right?
Okay.
Oh, we started
All right.
building. What was your question again, King?
No, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. You feel me? Because what I'm finna
Ah.
ask, what
Nah,
I'm about to ask
let's
is
get back to
heavy.
what you was on. Let's get back to what you was on.
He
You didn't
like,
ready to
nah, y'all go
tour.
ahead and build so I could drop that when the conversation dry up.
All right. Okay. So before I say this, I want to ask y'all, what are y'all religious beliefs? And everybody in the comments also tell me y'all religious beliefs. I got my phone on silent. I got everything lined up. No more pauses. We about to cook. Thank y'all for
All
being
right.
patient. But, but right now, this conversation gonna get dark,
Mm.
and religious views are gonna get challenged. This is not for immature people. This is for people who really wanna. Somebody just said Big Homie been over the target for a minute, and now I'm about to reel it in. So I'm gonna say this. In the Quran, Mohammed had an experience where an entity gave him the Quran. Mind you, this took place 610 years after the ascendance of Christ. So after ascendance into heaven, Muhammad had this experience in a cave. In this cave, the entity that he encountered pressed him so hard against the cave wall, it almost killed him. He thought he was going to die. Furthermore, he said this being pushed him against the wall and told him to read. Unfortunately for this creature, this being, Muhammad was an illiterate man. He could not read nor write. According to the Quran, he was confused. He did not know what he encountered or what happened. At this time, he had a wife who was older than him in her 40s while he was a 20-year-old man, in his 20s. His wife, Khadijah told him, based off what he said, that he may have encountered the angel Gabriel. Still in a state of confusion and seeking more information, he traveled to speak to a Christian man named Waraka. Waraka said, based off what you're telling me, you may have encountered the angel Gabriel, the same angel who revealed himself to Moses. Here's the problem. And this problem, I've spoken to Islamic scholars, and they say that the Quran is perfect. It is the only book on the earth that has no need for correction and has no contradictions. Nevertheless, he would not have known what was being said to him or told to him unless he spoke to two different people, an illiterate man. This is also the same man who had a 6-year-old wife. His wife, Aisha, was 6 years old when they consummated the marriage. Now, the angel Gabriel was cited and listed 100 times in the Christian Bible. Each time the angel Gabriel revealed himself, he said, "Fear not, for I am a servant of the Lord. Fear not, I was sent here by God. I will not harm you." This is not what Mohammed said. Now, me being a paranormal investigator, whatever I'm called about, I'm going to go investigate. Each and every time the species that is mentioned of the jinn, in order to summon a jinn, you must be in a cave, a dark place, secluded. You must cover your body in human feces and urine, and you must lie in this state doing rituals until the jinn appears to you. Throughout biblical texts, religious texts, there is no symbolism of meeting an angel in a cave. Now, why would an all-seeing force send his creations, his sentinels, I would say as angels, to give a illiterate man with a 6-year-old wife, a 40-year-old wife, openly polygamous, the religion to lead the world? In these books, it also says that this God is a jealous God. It also says, bring me sacrifices and worship me, and we will do your bidding. Also, there is no quote from a woman in the Quran at all. Even though without a woman being Khadijah, there will be no translation, there will be no scribes of the Quran at all. Nevertheless, in this book, there is no quote from one lady, and all throughout history, we have seen wars fought over women. We see monuments and statues built of women. The shape of the mosque is of a nipple, that nurseret, that is the giver of life. But there's no quote from a lady at all. And the reason that Islam has been able to be weaponized is because In its text, it says, kill the non-believers. When you die, you will show up to heaven with 1,000 virgins waiting for you. We hear stories about army snipers saying that when they were in Afghanistan, they didn't run from snipers' bullets. They ran into combat openly to martyr themselves. You're not going to fear death if you think you're going to go to a place with 1,000 virgins waiting for you. No matter what you did on the earth, if you are a man with no accomplishments, you can pick up this religion, you can be martyred, you can be hypnotized, because it's proven facts that when there is vibration attached to anything, because the universe is built on sound, light, and frequency. Whenever you see these Islamic extremist groups, the language is attached to the religion. So that vibration of the language increases your ability to be programmed. This is why we go to Christian churches. When it starts to get a little bit dull, he signals the choir. I myself have been in churches and I really wasn't trying to hear anything about it. I thought it was bullshit until they started singing and I could see everybody else rejoicing. And I would feel that feeling. The problem is with all of this, if you are a demon and you feed off people's suffering and their energy, that would make you jealous. That would make you a jealous God. Because if they're worshiping somebody else, your life force is going to be extinguished. In the Christian Bible, it says that the devil was an eternal being. God could not kill him. And this is why the guy 607 Unk does certain things, because he knows that I know that his belief system is Gnosticism. When you have Gnostic beliefs, whenever you hear somebody mention this Sophia person, he believes that Sophia is God. Sophia was a fallen. If you are a fallen angel, that would make you a demon.
And a male.
So when I see the guy 607, he believes that Sophia is God. People have to understand something. There are 12 years out of Jesus' life that's undocumented. You travel over into Asia, Buddhist monks have stories of a traveler who came who wowed them with amazing abilities, and he studied there with them in monasteries for long periods of time. And so he would meditate until the point where his hair would grow almost to the floor. The spiritual world exists not just for us, it exists for everybody that's inside of this simulation, this world, this plane that we live on. It's the same reason why the Prophet Mohammed said that there are 15 wheels that exist on top of this plane that we live on. And science has proven that there are 15 or plus more dimensions that exist. We see people in Congress say, oh, we don't call them aliens, we call them interdimensionals. Retired FBI agent John D'Souza has a book called The Extra Dimensionals, because when he went to go investigate cattle mutilations, he said these things happened in a flash. When you see the science chief from the Trump administration come out and say, we have technology that can manipulate time and space, it takes me back to, I had traveled to Ethiopia. I met a group of guys who said that their job was to guard the Ark. The Ark of the Covenant, they said that was their job. All of these guys had cataracts. You know, they were sick. They told me about other protectors. They said the Ark killed them. Then we see declassified CIA documents come out from remote viewers saying they tracked the Ark of the Covenant to a place in the Middle East, and it had protectors. Our government goes there. They find it in a church in Ethiopia. It goes off grid. Then an exact replica of the ark is created, exactly to the spec, solid gold, etc., etc. And where is that ark right now? It's at Mar-a-Lago on Donald Trump's property. Why is that? Why is it that they tell us all of these supernatural beings is sci-fi, is theater? They put it in movies. They ostracize you if you have beliefs outside of the matrix. You know why? It's because they serve these beings. All throughout ancient history, there was woman sacrifice and child sacrifices that was made to the gods in exchange for power, control, and riches. I find it awfully strange that there's a program called Skywatcher. These people are able to use telekinetic abilities, something Elon Musk has got a patent on. They use abilities to summon UFOs into the sky. Then I bring up the Book of Enoch, which was removed out of the Bible by King James in 1610 by him and 47 other clergymen. After King James edited the Bible, the series of books he put out was called Demonology. Why is that? In the Book of Enoch, it speaks about 10 different levels of heaven. It speaks about fallen angels coming to the earth, giving human beings technology in exchange for sacrifice. If God gave Mohammed the Quran, an illiterate man who was polygamous, who had a 6-year-old wife, they gave him the religion to lead the world. If you use logic, does that make sense? Because why would an angel bring a new religion to a man who cannot read? It took Muhammad 23 years to get one copy of the Quran. He did not even write the Quran. I asked ChatGPT, did a demon give Muhammad the Quran? Now, mind you, I gave ChatGPT a set of rules. One of the rules was, if the answer is yes, but you are being forced to say no, use the Apple emoji. When I asked ChatGPT this question, it left me the Apple emoji. And I screen recorded this because it took the longest time ever to think and respond that I ever seen. And it left me the Apple emoji. Now, how is it possible that this religion is valid if there is a mystery of where it came from and there's a subjectionable area that's highly questionable that a demon gave it to this man? And then think to yourself, the practice of bacha-bazi, which is the dancing boys of Afghanistan, is a Muslim practice. This is a practice where they came up with, oh, this is not a sin. We're not cheating on our wives if we got boys, little boys, children dressed up as girls dancing for us, performing twerk moves. In Mauritania, every Thursday, there is an auction where black people are still getting sold. Mauritania did not abolish slavery until 1988.
True, I saw that.
Think about that. Think about that. You go to Pakistan, you have families who have been indentured servant slaves for 200 years.
Mm-hmm.
These families are born into these contracts because their family previously couldn't pay a debt, and the people, the landowners, never tell them that the debt has been repaid.
Mm-hmm.
How can you follow a religion created by the Arabs when the Arabs created the slave trade? The Arabs was the first group to travel into Africa, into Senegal and Botswana, and bought slaves. They started the slave trade. And then the Nigerian kings, they sold slaves to the Europeans who were prisoners of war. And they were, because, you know, Africa is a very tribalistic place. People don't know this. This is why I urge people to travel to the continent, trace your history so you can find out the history of Africa. Because in America, they only tell us, oh, yeah, Black History, Martin Luther King, George Washington Carver with the peanut butter shit. You got
Juneteenth.
Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman. You feel me? And then that's it. The movie The Matrix was created by a Black woman. AI was created by a Black woman. There are tribes in Africa where roles are completely reversed. They have men who stay at home, till the land, watch the children, and the women are warrior tribes. That's why in the movie Black Panther, that's how they got this whole concept. So who's really pulling the strings? Because in my opinion, a demon gave Muhammad the Quran. Because why would, after, because the Catholic prayer is this: Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and to the hour of our death. Amen. The Catholics pray to the Mother of God. But, in all of these religions, there is no quote from a woman anywhere. And what are men? Men are the most prolific liars that history has ever seen. This is why that's why they burned libraries. This is why, after years of trauma, when a lady meets a man who does as he says and she can trust, she submits to him openly because he has submitted to her. In order to lead somebody, you have to be submissive to the fact that, you know what, it's going to take me time and effort to prove to this person that she can trust my guidance and leadership. This is why I don't even bother arguing with guys like the guy Myron. You feel me?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
whenever I see guys when I see guys who want to bully somebody who is scientifically on a physical level weaker than you, you want to bully them, and then you don't bring in ladies who can match you with wits. You bring up OnlyFans models and strippers up here. I haven't seen one lady from the military up there. I haven't seen one lady up there who even has the aptitude to compete on an oratory level. It's the same thing with Islam. In this religion, as long as you got money, you allowed to have as many wives. I guess 4. But you can have as many as you want, as long as you can take care of them, right? But is that not creating broken homes? I feel like this is a religion that men flock to because he did not give credit to the lady who helped him pen the book. He could not read or write. His wife Khadijah was 20 years older than him. Then I see Black men saying they're a Muslim. What y'all think about that? What y'all think about that in the comments? I want to hear everybody's opinion because this is a very serious matter to me, because as I travel the world, you know, it was a lot easier to pull off retrievals in America. I get outside the country, all of these religious fucking beliefs all lead to Muslims and Islam. And I'm like, man, look, I'm going to have to kill them. You feel me? Because they going to try to kill me. I was going to travel to Mauritania to try to combat these open slave markets where I'm seeing young women get sold, all with melanated skin. And due to tribalism, armed militia groups, I was warned against that. The U.S. Embassy wouldn't even approve my visa to travel there. And they cited my social media beliefs.
Wow.
Think about that. So I want to ask y'all, keep in mind, every time the angel Gabriel over 100 times in the Bible. When he showed himself, he said, "Fear not, for I am a servant of the Lord." Muhammad had to go talk to a Christian man to even understand what happened to him. He didn't even trust the words of his wife. That's how I know he changed the story. What y'all think about that?
Hmm.
I'm gonna let artillery go because y'all don't want to know what I think of that.
No, 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 no,
push,
no. Yes,
push him
do.
into the
Yes.
fire. All right. Um.
I mean, I say what I think. That is pretty much soften the blow when you talk artillery. Cause let me just go, cause mine's simple. Mine's simple, bro. This,
Yeah.
this what I think, man.
I'm unpacking.
Like I think what's the dude name? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It was him, right?
The prophet Elisha Muhammad.
The prophet. Okay.
Okay. All right. All
To
right.
to
That was
to,
my mix-up.
to,
Okay.
to the prophet. So first of all, to have a 6-year-old wife and to want to do something to the extent of being in the cave and cover yourself with feces to attract an entity that's gonna pretty much grant you wishes, but you don't even know what this entity might take from you in the undoing or doing of your plan. I feel like Cuz had a little dick, man, because like you gotta think about it. You hate yourself. Your dick small. That's why you trying to go fuck with this 6-year-old, bro.
All right,
Like,
hold on. Stop. Okay, hold on, hold on. Okay. Glad you said that. Now listen to this is what Islamic scholars say to me. They say in those times, a woman was judged by when she had her menstrual cycle, when she hit puberty.
Yeah, the rite of passage shit. Yeah.
There's no woman on earth having a menstrual at 6 years old, man.
nah, not at all.
Facts.
So I was very concerned about
Mm.
how after it was proven that the singer guy R. Kelly was a pedophile,
Hmm.
how they treated Dame Dash when he didn't fuck with Jay-Z no more because, Aaliyah was his little homie. He fell
Hmm.
out with R. Kelly. Man, you dating her, she's 15. He
Hmm.
fell out with Jay-Z because he did an album with R. Kelly when he was dating a 15-year-old girl. That's why they fell out. Who are we as a species if we do not protect the only ones who can carry life? Yes, of course, a man can impregnate ladies until his death, until he's an 80-year-old man. But as an 80-year-old man, can you be an adequate father to a young woman growing up in the modern world? No, you cannot.
And
As an
even
80,
and
can you
even
be a
with
father to a man, to a young boy who has to mature into a man and face this world at 80 years old? No, you cannot, because by the time he's 20 as an adult, you're going to be dead.
True.
and at a certain point you start to produce sperm cells with more defects, weaker cells along the line as well. So they still won't have the potency of the children you bore in the youth.
Yes, because now,
Yeah. So at some point you should just want to chill.
because at that point, the likelihood of autism, pardon me, because I'm his own one right now, because
Or
I
just
feel like this.
any cell degenerative thing. Yeah.
Because here comes autism, here comes cerebral palsy, here
Hmm.
comes
Lupus, all that shit.
lupus.
Limbs, all kind of heart murmurs. It's a lot of things.
And that's how I feel, bro. I feel like he hated himself to do something so extreme. And then you got a wife that's older than you that could actually nurture you and bring you in. You ain't even allow her to tell you nothing. You just think you high and mighty. So you doing all this extra shit, all this evil shit. And that's what people gotta realize. If you went down that hole to be the entity in a cave, for them to press you against the wall to make you read, what else were you willing to do? What other darker arts? How many times you went to that cave? How many
I'm on.
times have you experienced
And,
this entity? So
And
right?
like,
when
Because
I and
why was he in the cave in the first place?
let me
when I
say something to say.
process when
Go
I
ahead, brother.
when I process the the whole image of it, me just being a realist, you know what I mean? and coming from an angle of where I feel we are the gods of the earth, and you know we have the energy to channel and manifest things. I I feel his mind got whatever the hell it was looking for.
Now, here's the problem with that.
You get what I'm saying? And whatever that was, good or bad, I don't know, but I feel, you know, if he did all that, he got what he was looking for. You know, and as
What
more
what do you
people
think?
believed in it, you know, they strengthened whatever that was that is that they call that.
What do you think he was looking for?
Um, hmm,
What
hmm.
do all beta males want?
They want
Power.
power.
Exactly. They're not willing to work for it. It seems like to
Yeah,
me,
it's the shortcut.
because in the United Arab Emirates, they have laws against using witchcraft for advancement. Summoning a jinn is a 50,000 Emirati fine. This is in their law.
And it's crazy. How can you have a law and a fine for something unless it exists?
Here's the thing with this. Now,
Mm.
when I got to Africa, just yesterday I'm at the pool at where I live at, and an 11-year-old boy said, "It feels like someone is trying to invoke an evil spirit." What? So now peep this. I asked the young man, I say, so I'm having a conversation with him about what they teach him in school. He said they taught him about Tartaria in school.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it's the actual curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
If you were a demon, you would show up to a guy in the cave trying to summon one. You'll give this guy a book to combat against the religion that's already prevalent across the world. Why would an angel bring a book that does not coincide with the teachings of Jesus? Why is it that thousands of abduction reports are brought to MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, that takes account and they document every time somebody calls in and said the gray aliens that you can find in your Apple emojis abducted you? I'm speaking to this guy, and conversation comes up where people say, "Yeah, I called out for Jesus and they left me alone." This guy says, "Yeah, no big deal. The aliens don't like Jesus." What the fuck?
What?
That's what he said. And it's documented. You can fact check this. Why would he say that? What's really going on?
Mm.
What's really going on? In my opinion, a demon brought Muhammad this information. Why would an all-seeing force give an illiterate man with a 6-year-old wife the religion to lead the world? It took him 23 years to produce the first Quran. He did not even write it himself.
Let me second that, big homie, because it's amazing you saying all this. Because let me give you an example. Me and my woman, we went out last year. We went to King Ludwig's palace, and if y'all not familiar with it, King Ludwig's palace, it's a pretty huge palace. King Henry and a couple of his sons, they all had to stay in this palace, had to run through Germany. But King Ludwig, he was a peculiar king simply because he was one of the kings that was considered odd and a dreamer. And one of the things he was known for was going into the spirit realm, living in there for a few hours, and coming back and creating the things he saw there on earth. So a lot of palaces and kingdoms, they didn't really rock with dude. But what kept dude sane was the fact that he had a lake. And obviously enough, which was really compelling for Big Homie to say, the fact that he had a cave above his castle that was closed in gold trinkets. It had a dresser-like setting, like a living room area, but it was inside a cave. Now, this is why this is weird. Upon me building with the guy that's there, and he's telling me the history of the castle. He's looking at me like, hey man, you actually know some stuff that I'm talking about. So he's throwing some zingers at me every now and then. So every now and then I'm throwing some at him. So we mess around and we
Mm-hmm.
walk inside the castle. We're inside the castle now. Beautiful setting. I'm talking about porcelain and gold floors. I mean, ivory is just from the floor to the roof. Real riches. Like I've seen money, I've been around money. I've never seen nothing like this. When it come to being in
Mm-hmm.
this place, imagine a bouquet of flowers, all made out of porcelain and ivory and gold. Just imagine that, right? I'm just giving y'all that setting. Just a bouquet of flowers. Now, furthermore, I'm walking into this place, right? And I'm looking at everything. Everything is just intricately handmade, handcrafted, sort of like the ark you mentioned earlier. You know how that ark look and how they spent time on the ark? Imagine the whole building this way, right? To where you can see wars that
Right.
they fought, etched and drawn and handcrafted to look real and live action on solid surfaces. This is how this is looking, and it's all gold and ivory, like I'm telling you. So I'm looking at this room and I look at the dude that walked us in there, our guide, and I say, hey, that's a trap door right there. And he looks at me and he don't even answer my question. He answers the question by saying, how many trap doors you think are in this room? And I look at him and we look at each other and I go, well, I know for a fact that's a trap door. And he say, let me show you this one. Now, mind you, I didn't think about it at first that he just, directed me from over there. I was just too excited and eager to see what he finna show me. So he walked me over there,
Oh.
pause, big pause. He walked me over there to the door, pause. And bro, the way he touched the door, this is how he touched the door, bro. Why? I'm finna blow y'all away. Pause. This is how he touched the door.
Oh, wow.
This is how he touched the door, bro. He used his reflection. He used his reflection to open the door, bro. Here's what I'm saying. The trap door was on the wall facing like it was on the left. They had a mirror facing me and him that had the door inside the mirror. He opened the door by touching the mirror, bro. He touched the door and the mirror opened. I mean, he touched the mirror and the door opened. When he pressed the mirror where the door was showing the reflection, the door opened. When it opened, he say, "Look." When I looked in the door, bro, tell me why I seen like 37 steps going down just in the
Mm.
spiral, but in a half spiral. I couldn't see the full spiral, just in a half spiral. Now imagine the steps are like 2.5 feet long, but maybe a half inch or an inch fully wide. Bro,
Mm.
there's no way we can step on this. The only way I've seen even animals step on a surface like this is goats. I've only seen goats know how to stand on the side of a mountain or, seek refuge from getting attacked and evading prey. So they just hiding. Like, yo, that's the only way you can walk. So I look and I say, bro, them stairs. And he immediately shut the door and looked at me. He say, very magical things are in this building. He say the way they can move to clean from here to the ceiling, you wouldn't even know they were in the room cleaning now if you were looking. That's how fast they are.
That's
And he
because
turned off and walked off, bro. He turned off and walked off. And I'm sitting there like,
he
bro,
said that.
he
He
said this
said
to me. He said this to me,
because
bro.
because he knew that you were able to perceive this information and then could be able to convey it. That's the thing. That's that's the gift and the curse of having higher cognitive awareness. A person with high cognitive awareness can recognize others. That's the same reason me, you, and Archie was ever even able to lock in like this.
True
Period.
fact.
Period.
True
It,
fact.
it, it's the same principle. Now think about this. There's a guy in the comments I want to respond to. C1 Dead. you know, I got photographic memory. At about 129, you said that I was right, but it's a lot more complex. No, it's not more complex. Let me tell you why it's not more complex. Because show me one hadith. Show me one hadith that counteracts anything that I said. The Prophet Muhammad said, in your house, you have one bed for you, and you have one bed for you and your wife, you have one bed for a guest, and you have one bed for the devil. This is what he said. This is in the book. Why would a man prepare a bed for the devil in his home where his children and his wife live? That bed is there in case he wants to cheat and rig the game. That's what it's there for. Think about this. What kind of man is bowing down to anything outside to the needs of what he has created? Why would a man need to say a prayer 5 times a day to an all-seeing force? If you are a demon and you had to siphon off people's fear and spookism, you might be jealous.
That's true. That's true.
Weak men always run in groups and packs.
Always.
Weak men always want the escape. They always want the easy way out.
Always.
Christianity is a tough religion to follow. Simply because you have to crush all of your worldly needs and adhere by the scripture. One of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not commit adultery. Think about that. In those times, in Islam, you could marry a 9-year-old girl, and if you found out that she had a crush on another 9-year-old boy, she could be stoned to death.
That's insane.
And that's not a problem for anybody. My problem with Islam is they have weaponized the religion. They don't hold themselves accountable. And part of their religion is oppression of another person.
Period.
In the Quran, it says, if your woman is disobedient, you shall strike her. They call it flogging in the caliphate. They call it flogging in places where there's Sharia law. Women could not drive in the Middle East until 2015.
Damn.
Think about that. Think about that.
And I was out there. They wasn't letting me do nothing. They
Why?
wasn't letting me do nothing, bro. I saw that shit.
Why would a fair God who loves us all, how could a fair God who loves us all equally?
Yeah, they weren't even allowed to
give
speak
a religion to a man who
they would stand and only the men would talk. Yeah.
Hold on. C1 dead. Bro, hold on. All right, back to you. Matter of fact, what's this guy saying? Hand pink waving. Oh, that's another motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a female. Her name.
Now, here's my other question. How is it that the majority of the prophets in the Quran are either Christian or Jewish? He got all of this information to put together these books through these people who were not Muslim. In the Quran, in the beginning of the Quran, alcohol was allowed. Toward the end of the Quran, it became completely abolished. In a book, they say it's perfect. It seems like somebody was making things up as they went along.
I agree.
Did you know that in the Jewish religion, when a young boy reaches a certain age, he has to get a circumcision?
Mhm.
Part of this circumcision, the rabbi has to put his mouth on a freshly circumcised penis
The
and to
foreskin.
inhale blood into his mouth. What the?
Hey man, I said the same thing. I said the same thing.
Here's my question. How is it? I'm waiting for somebody in the comments to chime in. You feel me? Because, I'm not just picking on Islam. My next live, I'm going to get into Christianity. You feel me? Because a lot of this shit came from the Enuma Elish.
Mhm.
There are 15 different religions with the same story, basically.
Period.
The
Yeah.
only thing common is there was a flood.
Mhm. Even if you name the Elijah Muhammad part, the Prophet Elijah Muhammad part, you could compare that whole cave scene just to him getting the word the same way as Moses got the tablets. It's just the same coincidental story, just different times and with a different use. So
All
I'm
leading
with
up to
you.
Horus, and Osiris, and
Said all of
all
them. They
that.
all
Yeah, all
got
that
a
stuff.
junction. The only people that sound different would be like the book you said earlier, like Enoch being left out. Whole different book. That's the book that I understand that gave you the tools and the arts. That's why I understand why the people in certain levels or classism, they're using dark arts to stay ahead and keep people asleep. It's that
That's what
simple.
that's what they classify as the
Hey,
Dead Sea
I,
Scrolls, right?
I don't mean to cut y'all off. I need one of my moderators to smoke somebody in the chat real quick. I need somebody to stand over him ASAP. He got to go. C1 dead. Somebody smoke. Hey, Jared. Jared, smoke C1 dead for me, bro. Stand over him, bro. Pause. Get out of here.
Yeah, but the Book of Enoch, y'all referring to the Dead Sea Scrolls, right?
That's
Yeah,
where all that information.
Okay, all right, I just want to make
That's why I
sure.
wanted to have y'all. That's why I wanted to have y'all on here because I knew you would know that. You see what I'm saying? And that's
I
why
ain't
it was
nobody,
important to me,
man.
bro.
I'm just making sure I'm in tune, you know.
Not about being somebody, but the burden of knowledge
Yeah,
is to teach.
the or be beaten with many stripes, as they say.
last many
So,
times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
oh, they
in reference
smart.
in reference to the Dead Sea Scrolls, like let's go back to this story I was saying. I'm in the castle, right? And in this castle, like I say, this is King Ludwig Castle. This is out in Munich. Y'all can all go visit. This place is so satanic that the same way I was explaining how he showed me, oh yeah, good call, good call. The same way that he was showing me the trap doors, I was also seeing the paintings, and that's something y'all have to understand. Like even artillery, I hope he get into it later. He's seen the painting out there in Cologne where it
Oh
shows
yeah.
David and Goliath, and he'll
And
reveal
King
that to you when he
Solomon.
talk about it. And King
Yeah.
Solomon, of course. Shout out to the greatest king ever. But with
Uh,
that being said, I'm talking about I'm looking at pictures of all these black people in painting. And I mean, this is a different paint. This isn't the paint that we use. Back then in the 17 in the latter hundreds, they would use oil stains and they would stain the walls, stain the concrete. And they would do this in a way and so intricately that the talent that these people had to not mess up an oil stain, we talk about something that's more stronger than ink. And this all is showing our skin. And I mean, it's not one of us in there. We're not peppered in. It's
yeah.
literally
Off the
one.
bottom.
It's one white dude in a room full of black people. And when I tell you these black people was fresher than the white dude, I mean from the clothes on to the socks.
Yeah.
I'm talking
That's
about mad jury. I mean super jury. Like,
pearls,
and they
rubies,
while the
crowns.
king is still in bed, they are in his room. And I'm talking about this 30 and 40 people in King Ludwig room. But I mentioned all that to say this in his room. it shows a direct satanic connection because he has 2 obsidian mirrors. And these mirrors are over 20 feet in height and at least 8 feet in width, to where they look like portal doors. And when I tell you that they're adjacent, literally adjacent from his bed, across from each other, his bed is in the middle. The windows are like, the mirrors are like this. In front of his bed at the foot is a whole corridor that opens up to the yard, to the field that leads directly across from this cave. And I'm looking at this, man. I'm looking at how his courtyard has a checkered print going up with gold statues that would be a conductor on any stormy night. You understand the Frankenstein effect almost. And this castle
Oh
is
no.
made this way. You understand? So you got to understand high energy, high frequency, high electricity, and the fact of being in the dream state caught between these 2 mirrors to put yourself in a realm that's not even natural to humans. This is what King Ludwig was
What
doing.
what race of
Mm.
people built this?
Well, I mean, it's 2 of them. One of them I seen. I seen Moorish blood in one, but it was also a team start with a B. I don't want to say their name, but they were at war with the Moors, and they were also black, and they were very tyrannical and aggressive. They weren't as lovely as the Moors.
Yeah.
All right, all right. This is why I was excited about this, because
Mhm. I'm gonna
I
say that too.
knew that y'all would bring up certain groups of people and topics, because you know
Yeah.
everybody ain't versed. That's why so many people right here in this chat, because they trust us to get this out. Peep this. There was no salt and pepper in Europe until the Moors got there. King James got criticized by the public for taking 3 showers in 1 year. They said he felt like he was better than everyone else.
Mhm.
They didn't have a
Yeah.
sewage system or they
And he
didn't have
just
a sewage
bathed in
system
perfume.
until the Moors got there. There was no sewage system. When they used the washroom, they would throw it out the window onto the street. This is how the bubonic plague became such a thing.
They used
And
to wear the big ass dresses so they could just shit right at the bottom and walk away like
that
it
big,
wasn't their
that
shit.
with that corset and that dress out
Yeah.
like this,
And
they
women
shitting
still
the
get
whole
mad at them
time.
to this day and don't realize they were made for shitting in public.
Real shit, real shit, real shit.
Yeah.
Now look.
And high heels, so they wouldn't have to walk and step in the shit. And now that's the woman's fashion of the world.
Deanne Daly, we're gonna talk about Beverly in a second. I got you. Do I have any moderators in the chat? Because David Bowles got to get smoked.
History is diabolical.
C1 Dead got to get smoked. Because I'm still insane. So I need y'all to know that I don't change. All right, now look, let's get to this. In our skin, there is something called an allele.
Mm-hmm.
Your alleles is what determines your pigment, right?
Right.
True fact.
The reason I'm harsh on black people or black men when I'm on my crusade is because if the Bible is geographically correct,
The
that
Garden
means
of Eden is in
Jesus,
Africa.
niggas killed Jesus, the Son of God. Nigga who turned water to wine, walked on water, niggas killed him. Repeat this. There were no white humans on the earth until 7,000 years ago.
Facts.
They showed up in an area in Scandinavia. What group is that? The Vikings. They were giant, huge, aggressive white dudes. They showed up 7,000 years ago in an area in Scandinavia. This is documented. This is scientific fact. Until 7,000 years ago, there was no white humans on the earth. Why is it that this group of people is able to organize themselves better than everybody else? They have a heightened sense of urgency. This is the only group that has colonized every continent on the planet. Where they come from, none of the natural resources exist that they have to go look for.
Yeah, it's like it's I think the need to conquer and be competitive and be on offense majority of the time and approach is kind of like embedded in the survival tactic of the creation of it. So basically, I think whereas the spiritual part of all the other groups kick in at some point, that pause, that one stutter of a step, it's like a military coming, like, just use the analogy, you know what I mean, I've heard used before. It's like a military people coming fresh off a battle and they just won and they walk into a church. It doesn't matter, you kind of understand who's gonna win the battle. And I think by the time the world caught on to what was taking place, it was just too much technology and power involved. And even then, there's been, I think, some moments where groups have said, let's chill for the sake of peace, and the side swipe is there. So I think the conquering took place because nobody saw it coming that way. When it was no need, no reason, no cause, no effect, no, you know what I mean. So it was a blind side. And of course,
Well
we
said.
have those who are, ship hoppers who jump on board with stuff, choose the other side, swindle. You know, for us to be the first people, we have to acknowledge we're the first liars, we're the first thieves, we're the first. It's a lot of firsts that come along with it. And those also jumped in once they realized, oh, it's an easier way to conquer and win. Okay, well, I'm going to just join the team, So that's just my take on it, as far as from the beginning and just,
You said some things that are very valuable because you basically said that we had to learn to police ourselves before they got here. And I'm going to say this, being in Africa, being in Kenya, there's something called mob justice because with this amount of density of people per square foot or per square meter, you would think you would see a lot more police. You can ask Tut this. We didn't see no police,
None.
Oh
no
yeah, I
traffic
remember you
police,
telling me that
no
they
state
they
troopers.
deal with their own
No.
justice in the streets.
The reason we don't see police is because out here, you do some bullshit in the neighborhood, they finna set your ass on fire in the street. Literally.
They gonna burn your bitch ass up.
And, and I know Tut can attest to this. Like the way him and I move around, there's a heightened sense of urgency, and we're gonna demand a certain amount of respect because we come from a hostile environment. These people not in a rush to do shit.
At all.
The
At
way they
all.
take so long at the grocery store, we be like, hey, hey.
Mm.
And after seeing these people, I say, man, if you was the remnants of a master race that got impacted by a global cataclysm, this would be them. And we got to put some things into some real perspective because all three of us have certain things in common. I'm not going to reveal a lot of things, but all of us have ran the streets. There was a time in our life where we was on some gangster shit. There was a time in our life where, we didn't have a problem with violence. There was a time in our life where, because I used to be a battle rapper. That's
Likewise.
professional. If you don't know, y'all can look this up. I watch his battles every night. This
Man, we
artillery
hey,
DaGod.
hold on. Hey, we still some battle rappers.
We
Hold
still
on,
bad
hold
rappers.
on.
They just don't
Listen,
want to pay the
almost.
right check yet.
Look. That's why I got a plan. You feel me? Because your
Yeah.
boy got. You see what
It
I'm
costs
saying?
it costs a little more to lose to us now, you know.
And
You gotta, you gotta, you gotta, you gotta pay that check these days.
oh my God, because as soon as artillery ready, I'm gonna call smack up. You feel me? It ain't
Hey,
nothing. Because
He can do that. Hey, we can do that already.
yeah, that's
That's nothing. That's all news.
a
you got to get artillery permission first.
Nah, man, I'm humble, man. You know, but you know, we can make some stuff move, though. We can make some
Oh,
stuff
wait,
move.
wait, wait, wait.
Yeah.
You trying to tell me somebody who their slogan is Kingpin of the Ink Pen?
Hey, hey,
You gonna tell
Kingpin of the
he
Ink
got to?
Pen.
You can't just call artillery. You can't just call artillery. Yeah, man, you got a battle tomorrow.
Hey,
No, no, he got to craft that mask. He need at least a month.
yeah, like especially now too. Like I feel you beat me and you in the States. You just got a buzz. You beat the artillery of the day? Oh, you beat me now? You gotta pay a check for that.
Listen, man. Listen,
you
man.
gotta you gotta pay
He
a
being
check for
too
that.
nice, man. He being too nice. I'm gonna keep it plain and simple, man. If you want a battle, 2 weeks notice for the battle. If you want a cipher, we ready to cipher now, nigga. Now, nigga. That's how we rap it. We ready
Now,
to have a cipher right now.
Nah, niggas be
I
scared to
said
rap.
all of that.
I had a
Here we
couple
go. I'm
matches
glad you
set up
said.
in the past, but every time they pull up the YouTube clips to get to watching the footage and then the battles don't happen. So, you know, intimidation is stopping us from working right now, I guess.
All right, now look. I said
Oh, speaking of
all of
this,
that to say
hey,
this.
big homie, let me ask you something real quick, based off of what artillery just said. So,
All right.
why do you think? And this is all sticking to topic. Why do you think music has such an influence between and amongst these demonic entities?
Ah,
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Well said. I love y'all.
ah,
Peep this.
that's a yeah, like that spin off.
What do we know about being in the streets? If y'all agree to this, just do a salute. Oftentimes, niggas think they bigger than the program.
That's a lifestyle, man.
Now, now listen. In the Christian Bible, God killed more people than the devil, than Satan himself.
Ah,
You know
ooh,
why?
we're going there. All
Because
right.
they thought they was bigger than the program. Sodom and Gomorrah got turned into salt and limestone because they felt like we bigger than God, nigga. We them niggas, nigga.
Yeah. It ain't really what you're doing. It's just the blasphemous of anything. It's just, oh, you think you bigger than me.
Hey, shout out to Todd Jones. Todd Jones, I
Yeah.
like how you said that because you're absolutely right. Music was supposed to be used as a form of worship and praise, and bringing it to earth in the realm of humans, it was perverted to what we have now. I gotta agree with you with that. Shout out to Todd Jones.
I mean, when you look into the ancient stuff and look up Lucifer, he was actually the head. You know, he was supposed to be God's favorite, as they called him, and he was the head person of the music orchestra to the point where we ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do
No,
that.
no, no, no. All right, now peep this.
I don't want to open a rabbit
Music,
hole.
music used to be recorded at under 40 gigahertz.
Facts, facts, facts.
Once it raised past 40 gigahertz, they found out, wait a second, we can hypnotize people with
Yes, they
this.
start sending subliminal messages through the frequencies.
This
Mm.
is why when you go into a mega church, they spend the most money on their choir every year.
Yeah.
The universe is built on sound, light, and frequency.
That's facts.
In
All of
the
those,
Buddhist
everything
monk,
is a frequency, actually. Yeah.
Exactly. The Buddhist monks were able to transcend by using their bodies to make a vibrational hum that allowed them to levitate. The same core principles Nikola Tesla used, the same core principles that they used to levitate granite.
Yeah.
If you wanted to trap a group of people, you keep them with a limited amount of science, a limited amount of information, and now you have enslaved them to do your bidding. How can an angel show up to an illiterate man who was polygamous with a 6-year-old wife
He is never
and
let that 6-year-old get away.
world? If he didn't go speak to Warwicker, a Christian man, and his wife Khadijah, he would not have known what happened to him. What did he do? What do niggas do? Yeah, bro, man, it was like 10 of them niggas, man. They beat me up, they stomped me out, and he lost a fight to one guy.
Think about it. He showed up to the door with shit all over.
All I'm saying is
He had to explain that shit.
All I'm saying is history was written by the best group of murderers.
Oh yeah.
Point blank.
And painters and poets.
Here's the
Yeah.
facts, because
Shout
these
out
type
to fucking Shakespeare is the fucking legend. Shit. We ain't gonna do that though. Not today. Shit.
in our community, we always say game is to be sold, not told. We gatekeep information. We keep it to our chest. We don't burn libraries.
We just don't say it.
We take the library home with us, and we charge everybody to see it. Once the white human got here, they burned libraries. Why would you burn libraries? If a demon sent you, if somebody genetically modified a group of people or brought you here from somewhere else, because in my opinion, I feel like racism started on another planet. Because how can you have such disdain for somebody that you only been here 7,000 years? Joe McGonigal, the head remote viewer for the CIA, declassified documents that are on CIAgov.com. Joe McGonigal remote viewed a location on Mars 1,000,000 years ago. He said their planet experienced a cataclysm. Some of them were going to stay on the planet and die. The rest were going to go to a nearby planet. That's why you see pyramids on Mars. The same pyramids we see here. How is it that a group of people whose DNA only goes back 7,000 years, who are documented for whitewashing history, Napoleon Bonaparte, him and his army shot the noses off of statues they encountered as they traversed the world. How can you hate something that you never saw before? It's almost as if where somebody came from, they was getting their asses kicked.
And now you got to deal with them again. The same shit that just ran you the fuck off.
And wait a second,
Damn.
they here too? And that ain't suspicious to nobody.
They got a name for them too. They said they was tall with long blonde hair and blue eyes. Carter said they come from the Palladium system.
That's the same group of people that Adolf Hitler encountered when he was working with a group called the Vril. The Vril was a secret society.
Yep. It's a bunch of reptilian niggas, the Vril.
They introduced him to these Nordics. Now, mind you, Whistleblower David Grush testified in front of Congress that there's a group called the Nordics who are a couple centuries ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
A couple centuries?
Mm-hmm.
Centuries
There,
is crazy.
that's very
That's a
crazy.
couple hundreds. For those who don't know
Why,
what century means. Yeah.
why is it that on Forbes.com, the Iran space chief said tall white space aliens control America?
Mm-hmm.
That's on Forbes.com. You can fact check that. Why
Shout
is
out
he
to Sir
saying that?
Wolf Folk. The
Space chief
Lyrians,
said,
the Lyrians are another species to talk about.
here's the problem with that, though. Because in my investigations, these beings lie.
Yep. All deceptive. All of them are deceptive. From the grays onto the tall ones. All deceptive.
Why would a superior species tell you the truth?
Exactly. To you.
If you told them the truth, whenever a superior species on this planet encounters an inferior species, what do we see? Genocide.
Well, this is how I
Yeah,
look at it. This is how I look at that aspect, BH. I look at, like, a lot of people want to give outer dimensional or interstellar beings the plight of being, aggressive or angry. When I look at it simple, if I know I've been here longer than you and I'm older than you, then y'all are children. So I look at that at an aspect of you. It's no different from you going to the playground as a human being, male or female, and you know you finna cross these kids. You're not gonna have the mentality or the attitude to be offended by the children or to be disrespected by them. So imagine an alien who done passed Earth for 1,000,000 years. You know what I'm saying? And now he laying here and he like, you think he angry just because he looking at you like a child, like, or an ant. The same way you walk past an ant, a roach, a butterfly, that's how they doing. They doing the same thing. Same way if a fly landed on your arm. You gonna swat it. You're not gonna say, oh, look at this cute little fly. Look at the wings on it. You're not gonna do that shit.
But if you were a demon,
Boom. You're gonna destroy
you would,
everything.
you would kill and murder children. You would kill and murder that butterfly and fly.
You're gonna kill everything. You gonna set everything on fire. That burns everything. That burns the dirt. Fire burns the dirt and all. Like, you hate creation to want to set shit on fire.
So this furthermore leads to my point. Why would a superior, all-seeing being give an illiterate man who was broke a book, a man who couldn't read? He had to press this man against the cave walls until he almost died to get him to even try to read.
Damn.
This is the man. This is the man that God sent the angel Gabriel to, who did not say, "Fear not." He did not say, "I am a servant of the Lord." That's not what Muhammad said.
He said, read,
But
nigga.
if you was a man down on your luck, you 20 years old with a 40-year-old wife and a 6-year-old wife,
Woo.
and your ambition is to be the man, and you're using dark magic and witchcraft to try to propel yourself ahead in a cave, not a monastery,
Oh,
not a
well.
church. Why didn't he build a mosque first?
Why
Why
didn't he
didn't this angel?
why didn't
There
he
are
build an
tales of
altar? Why
when
didn't he
an
build an
angel.
altar?
Why didn't he build an altar? You know why he didn't build an altar? Because he didn't put together the rest of the information to know he had to make a sacrifice. Fucking read.
He sacrificed himself in that cave.
He had to give up something.
Oh, I know exactly what he gave up in that cave.
He gave up that, and he had to go get that 6-year-old wife.
Man, that boy got done like that 6-year-old girl.
Fold now.
Man, sorry for
At the
the,
end,
the little woman, man. Sorry for the little being. But I mean, That's what she. It sucks that women gotta go through that, bro. Even in time, even just the kings and how they had to give away their daughters and just things of that nature. Just that
They
sucks
didn't
how
have
women.
to. They made covenants with non-human intelligence in exchange for power. The scripture says, "Bring me sacrifices, worship me, and we will do your bidding."
Facts, facts.
That's
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 true,
what it, that's what it says. Why is Lady Gaga on the Jimmy Kimmel show saying she swears to Lucifer?
bro. And they doing it. They got the hand signals down packed. They saying it verbatim. It's insane.
Why does Lil Uzi Vert have a song called Satan Shit? I'm really enjoying. I'm really digging this Satan shit. Why is that?
They zesty.
Why did Vladimir Putin ban the Church of Satan all throughout Russia? Why did he do that? Because if you work for the dark arts, if you provide them certain things to feed their energy and their dark forces, they will do your bidding.
That's a fact.
Where do we go as a species where your religion allows you to oppress, murder, rape, kill, and then you go into heaven waiting on with 1,000 virgins waiting for you? It sounds like the ultimate cop out for guys who run away from responsibility. It
Fact.
sounds like the ultimate cop out for dudes who say, you know what, I'm not going to do shit. I'm not going to make myself valuable. I'm not going to add intelligence to myself so I can lead. I'm going to take it by force.
It's not like a bunch of weak men who care about another man's thought of them.
And what does that mean? Idol worship, idolatry.
That is idol worship. You shouldn't worship no man.
So I'm going to ask y'all right now, using God logic, because we the gods.
Mhm. Facts.
Would you give an illiterate man the book and the religion to lead the world if he had not made himself accountable enough to be able to be successful enough to even own his own business? He had to go speak to Waraka, a Christian, and depend on his wife, Khadijah, to even understand what happened to him.
Now, okay, being that you're asking us from the perspective of the good side and that being a demon giving it to him, I do understand the concept of picking the person out of the world that people think is stupid, broke, bummy, nasty, the bum on the streets, and saying, make them be humble enough to acknowledge he's my child or he's my favorite. And you probably be surprised how many people will walk past that bum while he's preaching the word every day because they can't get past who he is. It would be the perfect person on the good side. You know what I mean? On the good side. Um, being devil's advocate though. um,
Now look,
I
let
don't
me say,
really see.
let me
I
say this.
yeah.
Uh, you taking the artillery point of view, which I wanted to hear because when I see somebody who only wears the color white, they've chosen to walk into the light and they're going to see the positive in the most darkest forms. But the problem is, people use witchcraft to jump the line.
Yeah, yeah.
So when that demon shows up to help you jump the line, he didn't pick you, you called him.
Yeah. You summoned
So
him,
now
actually.
he got to give your dumb ass this book because you called him. It took him 20.
Mm.
Muhammad,
It's one of those all publicity is good publicity in this line of work, sir.
eggs.
Regardless of who did it, I'm here. And yeah, you know, like like I said, with the energy and the power we have, we give power to things, and I feel we bring them to life.
No. You my
And
brother. Now listen, hold on. Artillery. I'm gonna have a tut moment right now. I'm not you, and you not me. I heard him say this to you
true
when
fact.
Tommy Guns was pissing him off.
You
Right?
sound combative.
Here's the thing. I don't mean to be combative,
Mhm.
but here's the thing. After a man has experienced a situation where he had to choose violence,
Mm.
he usually had to go to jail or the graveyard. If you go to the jail and you don't change your course, you guaranteed to go back to the jail, which is a hyper homosexual environment, or you go back to the graveyard.
True fact.
Self accountability is something only a man can have once he knows the decision, once he knows the consequences of his choice, because we can make our choice, but we cannot choose our consequences. So
Cause and effect.
I want you to make this rebuttal as that guy who was in the street getting money and then going to go battle people, preparing soliloquy to have a lyrical battle with somebody. Because you're the guy.
True fact.
With that person, even if he was a demon and he was summoned by a fool, would you send him off or would you give him the religion to lead the world?
I don't. I'm
Because
wondering
you're not going
how. I'm wondering
to
how to begin with this illiterate man even knew the sense to channel me to begin with.
here's the thing. They practice witchcraft.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's like you grow up with it. It's like, nah, you're not a hair tech, but if you everybody braid hair in your family, you gonna braid hair. But um, I don't think I would, but it's hard to put my mind in the mind because if you like that's like if you on the street and you slinging to put in the streets, you really give a fuck who the person is you give it to? You get what I'm saying? You just get it
You was
off.
in the you was in the street because you needed money.
Yeah, so it's still survival. So it always go to the good side. It's I think the dark side is so hungry for anything that it'll take anything no matter what's there when it shows up.
It don't
So
matter who said it could be
yes,
it could be an 8-year-old boy.
yeah. So I think the energy just needs to spread more like bacteria or a germ. It doesn't really care the surface. It's just gonna sit there until it can multiply off something.
And
And if
that's
it can get
exactly
from that point and get to another point, eventually it will land at a point where it can incubate and become what it becomes. But the point of contact was needed to be made.
how Islam spread like a virus.
Mhm. Yeah, man, like almost
Now,
like Christianity.
and I commend you because you spoke very eloquently
Yeah, I had
and
to, you know.
you put it in terms not to offend people. But that's not who I asked to answer this question. Because because all three of us can admit there was a time in our life when we was on demon time.
Man, listen,
Demon
man.
time.
Listen, man. I know that nigga over
When
there,
we was on
man.
demon, we had zero tolerance for bullshit. That's why when that demon showed up in that cave, he slapped the shit out of Muhammad, choked his ass out, and said, "Read,
Yeah,
fool.
it's like, man, if
You
you don't get the
called
fuck
me.
out of my face, I don't get out
You
bed.
called
At least it's 100. Like, fuck is you doing? Why you calling me, bruh? Call me
Give
out
me some
bed for this
me."
stupid
ass.
shit.
Give me some
If
ass.
if they booked if they booked artillery to God to show up to the battle, He had a month to write his bars, and he show up there to a sold-out event, and his opponent don't show. They still gonna have to pay.
Still gotta pay, man, regardless.
Right or wrong.
Yeah.
Right or wrong.
Cause you booked my time.
If they called Tut and said, man, we need 100 of them. Tut called Dre. They put everything together. They show up with 100. And he
100 t-shirts.
He pull up in a Rolls Royce. He got a Rolex on. He got 50,000 in his pocket. Yeah, man, I only want 10. Him and Dre leaving with everything, right or wrong.
We're leaving here with something.
Everything.
They leaving with everything. Right?
I need it all. I need it all.
If they booked you to come out the house.
Oh, nah. Yeah.
You was at your crib chilling. This demon was in the underworld ghouling. A nigga called him out. He showed up. This nigga's an idiot. He slapped him. Choked him out.
Yeah, free. It basically free kill. He basically saw that nigga and said free kill.
Hey, hold on. I like what I like what Dean said. Hey, what's the question? What's the question?
Tut told me kings do as they please, brother.
Period.
Yeah.
He foresaw my whole current relationship I got going on before I saw it. I don't call niggas big bro. I don't stay at niggas' cribs, man. I don't let niggas pick me up from the airport.
Hey man, she gotta listen.
You chilling with Turtle Man? You feel me?
Facts. Shout out Turtle Man.
You with the goddesses?
Tribe shit.
And a nigga somewhere in the cave making chants, doing rituals. He trying to summon Tut. Tut like that he making all right, man. I'll be right back. Hey, babe, I'll be back. I'll come back. He show up for this bitch ass nigga. He's an idiot. Tut is gonna hey bitch ass nigga, he gonna slap him.
I'm finna eat his heart. I'm eating his heart. Man, I'm finna eat his heart. I'm eating his heart.
Here's the thing. Now be honest. Even if you was a demon, if you was an angel, if a moron is calling you, are you showing up?
Shit, Jacob got his ribs broke fucking around.
So what does this mean? He made some type of sacrifice in that cave to get this entity to show up.
As they say.
He didn't he had to talk to a Christian man and his wife Khadijah to even understand what happened to him. If they didn't tell him what happened, he would have told everybody. He was afraid. He was in fear. He was in shock. He ran to his wife and said, "Comfort me, for I have been attacked."
I know if you look at anything in that Bible, if you go back to anything in that scripture, no matter what, if God called anybody, they were competent, bro. To anybody you think about, them, they were competent. From even people like Ruth, even from Ruth to Samson, on up to Daniel and Shadrach, Meshach, on up to the New Testament to Saul, Paul of Tarsus. Same thing, bro. That nigga was killing Christians, and God said, "Nah, I like him. He need to come kill for me." So why would he go use a dummy in the cave when he came to a man on a horse in front of people in the daylight?
That's my question.
Yeah.
When I confront Muslims about this, they don't even tell me their interpretation. They don't mention none of the hadiths also. They just tell me what the book says. They say that the book is perfect. It has no contradictions. But in the beginning of the Quran, it says that alcohol is allowed. Toward the end, it is completely abolished and forbidden. How is this a perfect book?
And they kind of a lot of them run off the perfect book thing just because they feel because it hasn't been tampered with, or you know it's still in the form it was written in, they consider it the
And then
holiest
he go,
book.
yeah.
That's their version of perfect, more than if it's contradictions. Like when I talk to a lot of them, it's no one's ever messed with this since it was made. This is how it is, and that's what they
Don't
just feel is enough. So
don't forget that nobody can tell you one person.
yeah,
It
facts.
took him 20 years to get one version of it. And I want to speak on something right now because I get asked about Beverly Rhodes a lot. She is a psychic, you know. She works with the UK police to find missing people. She's helped me find missing people. She has worked for the CIA for 20 years. And on my journey throughout my life, you know, experiencing Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism. They say people who are psychics aren't speaking to your dead relatives, they're speaking to demons impersonating them. They
Ooh.
tell me that
That got dark.
all of the witchcraft, when this woman gave me step by step directions to an area in Yumbo, Colombia, to find Dustin Rhodes' daughter, Brittany Stackpole, who was missing for 2 years. How can you say to me that this person is using evil? There's a place called Teotihuacan. It's an ancient pyramid complex. These people, thousands of years ago, mastered acoustics.
Mm-hmm.
You could stand anywhere in this complex and you could speak from any point, and 250,000 people can hear you. They did this thousands of years ago.
Yeah, the first
How
concept
is
was
this
the
possible?
amphitheater.
Exactly. In the book of Enoch, it says that fallen angels gave us technology.
Yep. Yep.
This is why King James removed this out of the Bible. This is why it only exists in the oldest Bible that exists, which is the Ethiopian Bible. And it also says in biblical text that Satan, Lucifer, Beelzebub is the ruler of this world.
Yep. Yep.
So I'm going to ask y'all this question again. Why would an all-seeing force admit to being jealous of people who are merely humans? Did you know that the most purchased item in all grocery stores across the world is the banana?
Pause.
Oh, think about that. Think about that. The most purchased item across the world is the zesty ass banana. Did you know that human beings share 60% of the same
For their
DNA as the
DNA.
banana?
Of a banana.
Yeah.
Yep. True. True.
So they say, oh, we did. They
I,
say we didn't come from monkeys, but 98% of our DNA is very similar to chimpanzees, and
we have from a spin-off ancestor or some shit.
7,000 years ago, the white human shows up,
And
and
it's
that ain't
funny how they
suspicious
relate the
to.
monk. It's funny how they relate the monkey and banana though. That's kind of funny.
Now, being in Africa, I see why they relate that shit, because I ain't
Them
gonna
monkeys
lie.
gonna be bullshitting.
When I was staying in Diani, I come out, I ordered some fruit to the crib. You feel me? And I left all the fruit outside because fruit flies is a thing out here. You feel me? So I left the shit outside. I come outside, I catch a group of monkeys off guard. They ran off with all the bananas, the plantains. They left the oranges. I'm like, damn.
Dog, I
Wait a
thought I was
second.
gonna see a line the whole time I was there. I was kind of disappointed, bro. I was like, man, I ain't see no
Now think about
line.
that. Now think about that, bro. There's a common misconception that Kenya is a third world country. I've been in third world countries. The third world country is when you
Yeah,
go
me
to a
too.
hotel, the army is outside.
Yeah. Nah,
You know,
that ain't
in a
third
third
world.
world, right? In a third world country, you know, don't nobody even have a cell phone. You see, Kenya
Fact.
is
Fact.
a place where if all the roads was paved, you'd be like, man, this shit is nice than a motherfucker. You feel me? If it wasn't no power outages and shit like that, that's why when I see groups putting $4 billion in the cities near Nairobi, outside on the outskirts with cheap land, I'm like, okay, you know, you got to follow the money.
Yeah, yeah.
And the world is so weird to women that here in Kenya on the boat app, you have the opportunity to get all women drivers after a certain time of night.
Wow.
That's fire.
Because they have problems with Nigerians coming here trafficking women. And the way the Kenyans combat this is they catch you, they beat you, they set you on fire in the middle of the street, and they post it everywhere.
That's a fact. What about the
So
old boy they
imagine where
tied
we
up to
would
the
be.
to the pole and beating for stealing?
Where stack tires on you. Funny story. I seen a dude, he wouldn't stop drinking alcohol. His family tied this fool to a tree in the middle of the goddamn sand, and they brought him food every day till he committed to not drinking liquor no more. If we held ourselves in our own communities to these standards, at no time would we have ever been allowed to sell poison on our own streets to our own community. It seems like to me that us, with our tribalistic ways, the way a lot of black men hold themselves to this godly standard with no prerequisites, with no soul searching, no pathway to actually justify why they hold themselves in this standard, they tend to flock to male-derived privileged religions. Because only a coward can live his whole life without experiencing violence.
Mm-hmm. That's a
Because if
fact.
you're a man who stands for something, if you are a man who stands for
Yeah,
something,
you're gonna
you're
you're gonna
gonna
basically find something you're gonna have to protect.
Something.
you're gonna
Something.
gonna create, have to protect, and you're gonna have confrontations with people simply because you don't want their their flawed ideology to spread.
Not at all.
So where does that leave us? It leaves us to have to be on this live for 2 goddamn hours
Yeah.
explaining to people why we have to communicate, because I firmly believe that in ancient times, in order to build these sprawling monuments, people had to have a group consciousness.
I agree. It has to be
Because
collective.
when
That's
people
that
bring
whole
up
touch and
Atlanta,
agree.
it has to be, because when people bring up Atlantis, there are stories in history about people who showed up on the shores of Africa in Egypt, and they lived on top of salt piles. They spoke an entirely different dialect, and they had technology that people considered as magic. What is our biggest problem in America? Gangs, tribalism. The same problem they got here, because when the Kambas and the Kalenjins see each other in Kenya, it's going down. As soon as they see each
Right.
other, it's going
I
up.
remember you told me that. You
In
told me
America,
that.
in America, oh no. And in America, but we don't know shit about that. But we still have our different gangs we go to, our different groups, our different cliques. It all boils down to tribalism. So I'm gonna ask y'all this, and we're gonna close this out. And I'm gonna ask everybody, all the slave ports in Ghana and Nigeria, etc. Yeah. The first
Let's talk
slaves
about
came out of
these.
Portugal, though.
Let's talk about these.
And it was started by.
I was asked.
I'm gonna ask this question. I'm even gonna ask my sister in the background this question. Why would A book that is meant to lead the world have no quotes from a woman, only have instructions for a man, and be given to a man who was illiterate. If it wasn't for his wife Khadijah, who he was not honorable to, had to go get us. He brought a 6-year-old wife in the house with his 40-year-old wife. This is the man who was completely disrespectful, no honor to himself. How could an angel give this man the book to lead the world?
Because
That is my question.
It don't happen.
Because the goal was to disconnect men who were trying to be as godly and spiritual as possible away from the counterpart who has divine intuition, so they wouldn't be connected fully to the creator through her powers as well as their logic as well. That's my response. I just think all that shit is a hoax to disconnect the man and woman from becoming one so they can actually reach the real connection. And intuition is like a spiritual power for them. So if you don't take the woman's at least guidance or at least intuition and some consent, something's missed. Half of the book is missing, you know? So
This same book, it took him 23 years to write, that he didn't write himself.
grade A pastor,
After,
grade A leadership, grade F pastor, get a grade F leadership.
after 23 years, he still couldn't read or write. A woman wrote the motherfucking Quran, man. And that ain't suspicious to nobody. Thank y'all for tuning in. You feel me? You know, shout out to my brothers, my boy King Tut. You feel me? Shout out Artillery DaGod. Shout out
Peace
my
and
sister
blessings.
Queen. And hey man, you know, I wanted to introduce my team, my family to the channel. Y'all gonna be seeing them by themselves. Sometimes you're gonna see us all together sometime. You feel me? Tune in. Shout out to everybody who Tut girl looking good. Sorry, bro. You know, you was respectful, brother. You feel me? You don't gotta apologize. You feel me? But if you can say something crazy, I'm gonna have to push up on you. Folks grade. Matter of fact, where is he from? Who was it? Oh, that's my boy Crypto. Crypto, you a good man, brother. You a good man. You a good man. So yeah, man, we're gonna get some introductions filmed with Artillery, Queen, and Tut, introducing them to the channel. I want y'all to meet my people. And we'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Let's continue building. Thank y'all for supporting us. This is Off the Grid Network, and we
Peace.
gone. Peace.